Okay guys, today we're going to be talking about calibers. I named this video Caliber Idiocracy, and I'm going to tell you why. As for the guns, they've both been safety checked, don't worry about them. Pretty much, we're going to be talking about how calibers are overrated, some are underrated, and overall just general stuff that you really should know. There's a lot of people that don't. So first, I'm going to talk to you about the potential of killing. Okay, see, what happened was, I go on this gun forum, and even on YouTube I see it too. There's a lot of people out there that for some reason or another think that a 22 cannot kill you. A 380 will bounce off of a winter jacket. Yeah, I've heard this stuff so many times, it's ridiculous. And a 22 will bounce off of human flesh. It won't penetrate human flesh. Now I know these are just idiots out there, and that's why I said this is Caliber Idiocracy. But I really want to get this point across for people that are new to guns, who don't know squat about guns, because it's very important that they know this stuff. I want to tell you that everything you see here, every single caliber here will kill you. Will kill a human being. Okay? And I'm going to start with the smallest and go up. And we'll talk about the shotguns very quickly after. Okay? So let's start over here. You have a .177 BB and a .177 pellet. Look at how tiny this thing is. Very light. Propelled by air or CO2 cartridge. You think this won't kill you? Guess again. Read your, go out, if you don't have a BB gun, get one. I think everybody should have one. They're, cheap fun. Read the instruction manual, and it'll tell you to handle your gun with care and safety. It's not a toy, and it can cause serious injury or death. A shot to the throat or eye can kill somebody. It's happened before. It will continue to happen because people are uneducated in gun safety, and also just in calibers. People are stupid. That's why I made this video, because people that don't know squat about calibers and think that certain ones are not lethal are people that are going to accidentally end up killing somebody one day. So, just something to think about. And also, another thing, these are made of lead, these pellets right here. Adding even more lethality to the weapon, the caliber, if it's not treated in a timely manner. They can kill, as can the 22, which is more powerful. The 22 has killed more people than any other cartridge in the world. Reason being that it is the most common and cheapest, most affordable round. That said, it has a reputation. Mafia have used this to kill people in their homes, cars. Snipers have used it to kill people. Organized crime loved this round for a reason. It was quiet. It got the job done. 22s can bounce around inside you and tear you up worse than some of the big calibers. As a matter of fact, when I first started handling guns, I remember a long time ago, I told my friend's dad, he asked what kind of gun it was. I told him it was a 22. He was more afraid of that 22 being handled around his son than any other caliber, because of the miserable death he will suffer from these things. And they will kill. And by the way, these are all categorized not by size but by power. Here is the 32 Smith & Wesson Long. It was used in the 1920s by law enforcement after Theodore Roosevelt standardized this in police handguns, sidearms. It's also a pretty quiet round, not as quiet as perhaps the 22 long rifle. This is a very smooth shooter. It was popular for that reason. It was very accurate. Not as strong as the 38, which is the big brother of this caliber. But nonetheless, this will put somebody down. The 22 Magnum is stronger than the 32, surprisingly. This has about the same penetration as a 38 Special, even out of a smaller gun. Something to be aware of. Anyone who thinks that a 38 cannot stop somebody is a fool. Okay, it's been used for so many years as a weapon of choice among law enforcement and enforcers of gangs and such as well. The 380. One of the most popular rounds used in Italy since World War II, and for a good reason. No, it's not as strong as a 9mm. And I'll tell you what right now, though, it will not bounce off of a winter jacket. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Okay. Yeah, it's not as strong as 9mm, but it'll definitely put somebody down in a second. Key thing to remember here, guys, is that all of these will kill. They're all lethal. None of them should be overrated or underrated. They should all be respected because they can all kill. And yeah, I'm repeating myself a lot, but you know what? You have to understand that for people that are new to guns, if you didn't know this stuff and you were looking to buy a gun without knowing first the basics to calibers, you know, something bad could have happened. I'm trying to prevent stuff like that from happening. God forbid something like that happens. I also have empty cases here. I have the 38 Special. And just to compare it quickly, you can see that the 32 is smaller. I can fit it inside of the spent shell of the 38. You have the 9mm and the 40 caliber. Not much difference in size, really. Although I would prefer, all around, my favorite caliber to use would be, a 40 caliber. There's a reason for it. I'll get into that in a second. 9mm though, excellent caliber, especially for new shooters. Cheaper, it's a center fire, very reliable, and you get a high capacity, typically on handguns calibered for 9mm. The 40, not as much, but you can usually find them anywhere from 11 to 15 rounds per magazine. I usually look for the 13 to 14 round guns that hold those 13 to 14 round magazines, I should say. That's enough, and this right here is more than sufficient to put somebody down. Now, the reason why I don't have a 40 caliber gun is because they're so expensive. I mean, I can get a 9mm or a 38 gun cheaper than I can one of these. So I probably won't have one of those for a while. Now this one, right here, is the biggest caliber out of all the handguns. This is a 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. Typically used for big game hunting. This will put down an elephant. Oh yes, it will. No questions asked. Now here again are some rifle rounds. Just three. This is a spent 22 shell, long rifle shell. I have it to compare to other spent shells. Here is the Remington 223. You have the 30-06. Alright. This can be just as lethal as this. Or this. If it kills, it's lethal. Shot placement is what counts first and foremost, before the caliber itself. You know, 22 long rifle, I'm telling you, it's not something that you're gonna want to get hit with. Yes, it's a rimfire. It's not as reliable. But it's been reliable enough to kill the people that it has killed. The 223 is frowned upon because it's not as strong as the 5.56 NATO round. Be aware, this is plenty to put somebody down. Alright. The 30-06, very popular round among hunters in in America, I should say. I'll say North America. America. Very popular round. Can put down bears, moose, elk. It can put down anything in North America. So, that just gives you an idea of how lethal that round is. How strong it is, I should say. You have your shotgun shells. Your 410, your 20, and your 12. Everyone always will tell you, I'm sorry, tongue twisted up. Everyone's going to tell you, for the most part, if you go into a gun shop, they're going to say, get a 12 gauge. Or on a forum, they're going to say, get a 12 gauge. Not all the time, but a good portion of the time. You don't need this to defend your life with. If you want to talk about hunting, you know what? All these are good for hunting, as a matter of fact. Choose something, seriously, choose something that you're comfortable with. Go out, fire a couple guns, make your own decision. Don't have people tell you what caliber to choose, because you're not going to be happy. You might be happy because you never fired other calibers. Once you have, you're going to be like, you know what, I should have had that one instead. It fits me better. Pellet for pellet, these are all equal in power. So it's something that you got to think about. These are all birdshot. From the 410 to the 12 gauge, pellet for pellet, they're the same strength. It's just the only difference is the 12 gauge and the 20 gauge have more pellets than the 410. The 12 gauge has more pellets than the 20 gauge, etc., etc. It has nothing to do with power. People don't understand that. And yes, birdshot can be used to defend your house. Guarantee you that. This will put somebody down. You ever seen Lock and Load with Arlie Ermy, the gunnery sergeant guy? He's funny, but he's a funny guy. But he will show you, or he showed in one episode, the power of birdshot and what it would do to a human body. And let me tell you right now, it is sufficient to put somebody on their ass. No questions asked. As you see here, my father uses a 380. And he does not feel undergunned. He has been shooting guns longer than I've been around. 35, no, I think he said like 42 years. 42 or 43 years he's been using guns. He does not feel undergunned with a 380. This is his primary gun for carrying. Should tell you something. This is my gun. This is my little Derringer. It takes the 32 H&R Magnum. It also shoots the 32 Smith & Wesson Longs. It's just the most practical of all pocket guns. Not by a long shot, but I'll tell you what. Proper shot placement, it will get the job done. Mark my words on that. I actually don't feel afraid carrying this gun around. I feel safer just carrying it. Rule number 1 to a gunfight is have a gun. Rule number 2 in my book is have a gun that will give you confidence carrying. Don't be afraid to carry a Derringer if it makes you, feel comfortable. Then it's a good gun for you. hang on a second.